Hello YouTube, Redcoats Return here. Redcoats Return and some Vivaldi in the background you may hear. What else should I play when I'm showing you my collection, the Italian pipes? Well, this is just a assortment of 12 pipes. I actually looked at my statistics. That's my list of pipes, my inventory. And in fact, I have 20 in a collection of about 75 pipes. Not all of which are in this location, but I think these ones give you a good selection, if you like, of the pipes I have. And in fact, it's the largest category of pipes that I have. The next largest one would be the UK, and then Germany, and then United States, a lot of which are corncob pipes. Anyway, I've basically arranged this like the round table, and we'll just take you around it. But of course, as you might have guessed, a lot of these are Savinellis. Savinellis are more than half of all of my Italian pipes. I suppose that's no surprise to anybody. They make such good quality pipes and such lovely designs. But Italy is clearly a powerhouse of great craftsmanship that they make these beautiful pipes. Let's start with this one. This is a Brebbia. It's absolutely a lovely pipe. I got this, it's actually what they call their Brebbia Classic. It's got this lovely metal clasp here. I think this is nickel, not silver, but a beautiful grain. I think you can maybe just see this lovely grain. Of course, it's ending up in these beautiful bird's eyes here. It's absolutely marvelous. Now, I saw this on Timaeus. Timaeus is a website and a collection of about 5 stores in the UK in different locations. And their London store is not far from St James Street. They're actually on White Horse Road, which is a short walk through the park from St James's Street, where James Fox, of course, is the famous tobacconist. And the shop they have is really tiny, but they have a huge choice on their website. I will leave a link. This is, of course, 9mm, as you can assume for many of these pipes, but not all of them. So they gave me this little no-name filter, but by looking at the blue end, I think that must be something from Vauen. And I have smoked this once or twice, and it's absolutely marvellous. It's got a lovely weight to it, a lovely, lovely look. Brebbia, of course, legendary family company, as many of the Italian pipes are, from middle-sized and sometimes quite small family companies of, not even 20 employees. It says here selected, which is their second highest grain. They have even purer, more perfect grain standards to choose from the website. And you can either buy direct, or in this case I bought that from Timaeus, who had a good price for this one, a little bit below what the current price is. They probably bought it some time ago. Smokes absolutely beautifully. So I try to keep a little bit of pace, not to make the video too long. Then my Lorenzetti. Now, I bought this from Milan Tobacco in the United States because they had a good dollar price, and I calculated what the shipping was and figured that's a good deal. And what I love about this is it has an L here for Lorenzetti, which is my same initial in my first name, so I thought that's perfect, you know. And this also has a lovely finish to it, which I assume is a combination of grain and stain. But doesn't it look absolutely gorgeous? I mean, it really does. And this was not so expensive. I think it was around, I don't know, $70–80. So it's probably not the higher end of their range at all, but beautifully finished again. Good old 9mm, which you know from my filters, and that's the Stanwell filter, which is at the moment my favorite filter. Bang on drilling, you know, absolutely marvelous. And I love these Lorenzettis. I just think that they are what Italy is. Beautiful finishing, beautiful craftsmanship, which takes me on to my next big guy Lorenzetti. Look at this. So they've been going since 1934, and still quite a small company, but absolutely beautiful. Look at that great bird's eye finish on the top this time, not on the base. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it, don't you think? I just died when I saw that, and the pictures were beautiful. Lovely stem. Got this from Floppy Pipes. Now, it seems that sometimes they use this old boy with a cap and a pipe, which is very similar to what Floppy use. So I don't know if it's them that have this as a courtesy from Lorenzetti, or if Lorenzetti have some of their pipes with this same logo. But even so, it's just lovely. And this is a nice big bowl. That's what I like. Look at that. I mean, that is a huge bowl. I think it's 22mm across. They have some beautiful models. Absolutely. And this is the pure wood finish, you know, just with a light buff on it. Absolutely gorgeous, don't you think? I try not to have favourites, and generally I love all my pipes, I really do, and I do smoke them all, even though I've got so many. So they're all different. They're kind of like, you know, kids or something. You love them for different reasons. So that starts me onto the good old Savinellis. This one I got not so long ago. Now I tend to buy them from places like smokingpipes.eu, because the EU affiliate of Smoking Pipes has a lot of filter pipes, of course. In the US they have also, but less choice, and that's one of my sources. This particular one I actually got from someone selling from a tobacconist online in Italy. And there was a bit of a story, because the first one I got didn't have a drill hole. Savinelli had made very rarely, a mistake. So I had to send it back, and he changed it, of course, apologised for everything, but it's not his fault. It's the factory quality control just missed it. But sent this lovely Dublin style, which is one of my sort of preferred styles, although I really have quite a diverse, but I have a number of bent, semi-bent, Dublin looking pipes. Beautiful finish. Look at that stem. That's so beautiful. So this is called Mili, which is honey in Italian, also in French. And it's absolutely a beautiful, so it's a 611 king size KS Savinelli. Also decent capacity. And this one I haven't actually smoked yet. There's one of the very few pipes that I didn't smoke when I got it. It's more like a summer pipe, I regard this one as. So I may leave that one till next summer, but absolutely gorgeous. And I just got to admire Savinelli, the diversity of designs and the ideas they have, and this lovely, graceful Italian, I would say Vivaldi-esque in pipes finish is just bowls me over, and that's why I've got so many of them. Then I have the blue alligator. Now I just love this. Firstly, blue is one of my favourite colours, and look at that stem. Look at the way it shimmers and shines. Oh. And then, of course, they've done this very clever finish, like alligator skin on the briar, and then stained it blue. And it's just absolutely gorgeous and brilliant. I mean, when I smoke this one, everyone says, wow, look at that. That's brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. And of course, they have several different alligator styles. I think there's also a, what is that now? 609 KS. I generally like the KS, slightly larger bowls, slightly wider and deeper. As a preference, I'm not really the sort of guy. I've got just one or two or three small pipes, but that's I'm at the opposite end of the scale. I like them mid or upwards. It's an absolutely gorgeous pipe. It's like what I call a dress pipe. You could wear this with a white dinner jacket and a dark blue bow tie to a dinner event and have this, and it would look very chic and beautiful. And that's why I have so many pipes, because they all smoke different tobaccos differently. They've got a different feel to them in the hand. They fit with different clothes. They fit with different occasions. I've got about a quarter of my pipes in another location, so I don't have to transport them all the time. I said to my wife, that's why I've got to have this choice. And you don't understand, dear, I said. You don't understand. She says, yes, I don't understand. So we left it at that. But anyway, just beautiful. Then, not long ago, I saw this one. This one I did get from America, from smokingpipes.com, which is one of my favourite stores. You know why? Because their international shipping rate is very good. They've got a slow boat by ship, probably, fee, which is usually $5 to $10, and when you factor that in on 3 tins of tobacco, it's worth to buy from all the way over in the USA. And God bless the USA doesn't put all these ugly warning labels all over the tin, at least not at the moment. So I just love to buy things from them. This is Clark's favourite. So it is said that Clark Gable, we all know he smoked a pipe, did sometimes smoke one like this. Isn't that elegant? And again, the bit is just absolutely gorgeous. This is a 6mm. So as you know already, I do have about sort of 20% of my pipes in 6mm. And as you know already, I favour these coconut charcoal Giese short filters, because I find them easier to get out, and also the draw is pretty good with these. It's better than the longer 6mm anyway. And as I said, normally Savinelli, very good quality control. I personally, so if I'm looking at this, I'd see they've drilled the hole a little bit high. But what I really look for is where is the hole in the pipe bowl. I don't know if you can actually see it, but you see that's in the right place, very close to the base, more or less exactly the right place, and that's what counts for me. It's not so important for me if the smoke is sort of going to travel 2mm higher out of that hole towards the filter. There's usually a gap between the filter and that hole. So for me, that's a kind of internal aesthetic point. It's nice when it's center drilled, but it's not absolutely essential. The one that really counts for me is where is it in the bowl, and that's just about right. It's very hard to get the light just right here, but I think you can see it there, just about where it should be. Right, then I have my Trevi, my Savinelli Trevi model. Now I got this because I saw Sergeant Savinelli smoking this, the one and only. And it's got this lovely polished aluminium ring. It's not silver. It's not such an expensive pipe, and most Savinellis are quite reasonable, usually between 80 and let's say $150, something like that. And a lot of the time on sale and everything, you can get them for you know, plus or minus around the 100 mark. And I've smoked this a number of times. Very good pipe, also 6mm. There was a time Savinelli were producing mostly 6mm. Thank goodness for us Europeans and filter people like me. They've increased greatly their offer. There's another one of those short filters, this one from Parisa. And now so I can get them in more and more in 9mm versions. But with that new filter, I think I don't really have any problems. I smoked this about 2 days ago. Absolutely marvellous. So that's a 606 KS Savinelli Trevi. You may have noticed I've got about half rustic, or 40% rustic, and the rest more smooth. When I first started pipe smoking, I was more thinking something like this, a nice smooth elegant pipe, but I got to like rustic ones because they've got a nice grip on them, and they radiate the heat a bit better, and also your fingers don't touch as much of the surface, so you feel the heat a bit less. And over time I've just gotten to like these just as much as I do my smooth pipes, which is interesting. I do think pipe smoking is evolution, isn't it? And then I love this Prince, don't you? Look at this elegant, slightly bent Prince look. But of course I hunted around for, this is the Roma, has a lovely reddish brown finish, 315 X, and X is what you get in Europe for the king size pipes, but they tend to be pretty well on the large side. I got this from smokingpipes.eu. I'll put my thumb in this one. I mean, this is the size of it. I think it's 23mm diameter. Beautiful. I love a big bowl. You know what I put in this? I put Sir Walter Raleigh. I put my those blends that I just love so much, that I've got a lot of, because I just know I'll always be smoking it and always love it. And you can really fill this bowl up, and it's almost like smoking two normal bowls. Beautiful pipe. Oh, I love it. I love it. Aren't they works of art, don't you think? For me, they are, and they're all different. They're all different. This lovely Savinelli Vesuvio, with this sort of square, diagonally positioned finish, and a Rhodesian bowl, I would say, and semi-bent, half-bent, is a lovely pipe to smoke as well. It's not quite as big as the others, but it's still sort of a good average fill you get in there. A little bit more compact. Could almost think to have that as a travel pipe. Beautiful look to it. I didn't have any Rhodesian or any kind of designs like this, so I just thought I must have one of those to have a complete collection. It's always a problem. When do you stop, you know? Better not talk about that. So then we come on to the Impero. The Impero. This has this beautiful collar with this lovely green emerald marbled look which caught my eye, and I thought, oh, that's just gorgeous. Again, this is, you could wear this with a nice smart outfit. Again, it's almost travel size, it's compact, but still holds a good average amount in the bowl there. Beautiful finish to it. I just, sometimes I just take these out just to look at them, even when I'm not smoking them, but most of the time I smoke them, of course. Now then, we come on to one that I bought in my first year of pipe smoking. And why did I buy it? Because Bing Crosby smoked a pipe like this, and this is called Bing's Favourite. At least it's Savinelli's version of his pipe. There are photographs of him with a pipe very similar to this, or if not identical. Very long, sort of like what I would say a Canadian look to it, but with a slight bend on the bit. It's 6mm. I have smoked this a couple of 3 times. And I've got a tin of Crooner, which I'm going to smoke before too long, coming up to Christmas, in this pipe, and probably sing a few songs, Christmas songs, like I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. That doesn't really go with Vivaldi, but that's one of my favourite Bing songs, of course, especially at Christmas. It's also got a lovely bird's eye here on the bowl, all over it. So it's absolutely beautiful grain, lovely staining to it. Very elegant pipe again, wear this with a blue, dark midnight blue dinner jacket, maybe, or you could have something just even with a suit or something like that. A very nice looking sports jacket at least. Very elegant, as Bing Crosby of course was. Then of course what you have to have, everyone always says you've got to have this in your collection, you've got to have this in your collection. It goes on forever. But I thought I must have a couple of Rossies. Mr. Rossi sold more pipes than anybody. If you go back 50 years, he was the sort of middle-class worker pipe, and then he wanted to get out of the business because I think he had no children to pass it on to. Went to Mr. Savinelli and said, look, I've got the factory's workers, they need work. Mr. Savinelli very cleverly said, well, okay, I'll take it, and we'll make a sort of second line, Rossi, so the name goes on. Less expensive pipes, simply finished. Everyone says it's the seconds of Savinelli, usually rustic with a heavy stain or lacquer on it to hide the defects, but it doesn't really matter, I mean, there may be the odd imperfection here and there. I never noticed anything functional or really critical. And they smoke superbly well, and I'm sure they're going to last me the next 20 years or the rest of my life. There's one of my Fowen filters in there, and it's you can't see that very well, can you? But I can tell you it's drilled down drilled nicely down the centre, and pretty close to the base of the bowl, not quite, but pretty close to it. And it's a good knockabout pipe. You get these for about $50 to $60 or something like that, and you can use them while you're doing the garden work, or take them when you're going on a picnic or something like that. And they're simple, but they smoke beautifully well, and I find them in their own right attractive. Here's a little Prince, the last one, style, a bit smaller bowl than the other one. That's the Rossi Rubino. And that's got a nice smooth finish, but matte, but still the grain is shining through there with a sort of dark brown reddish stain. And this one, I'd either have to look up in my... No, that's a 9mm, isn't it? That's right, because I always look around if I can get it 9... No, that looked like a 9mm, but it's not. It's 6. Thought as much. So it's a 6mm. I'm going to have to switch this one out for one of the short filters. And I've smoked this a couple of 3 times, and it lies very nicely in the hand, I must say. You know, it's you just clasp it like these round balls. I used to think I must have a full bent because I can support it and it's more comfortable to smoke that way, and it's still partly true, but I can also I've learned to, if you like, smoke these ones in that way and enjoy them very much. Anyway, went on too long. That's my Italian collection, if you like, and the next one will be UK, Ireland and Scotland. I do them all together. Just a selection, thought I'd share them with you, and thanks very much for looking in. Hope you enjoyed it.